Be honest with me. Do these glasses make this outfit a little too Betty Suarez? Psych, that was a trick question. I actually graduated from the school of Betty Suarez and Penelope Garcia with a degree in self expression and whimsy. Anyways, today I'm going to be yapping about fashion stuff that I love and just items that I'm really interested in. And if I could imagine my dream wardrobe, or like if I had to write down a list of my dream wardrobe, these things would be on it. Some of these items are tangible, some are a pipe dream, and others I will continue to manifest the rest of my life if I have to. Let's get into it. This first one might be a little controversial, but I have been really into insect and entomology pieces. I think it started with beetles and ladybugs. Like, I really tried to paint some ladybug nails on me, but they just did not look good. And I saw this crocheted ladybug hat and just different pieces that I'm like, yeah, we really do need to appreciate insects more because they are beautiful and resilient and amazing. Even though I am terrified when they fly at me, I do scream and run, okay? And especially this Prada handbag, it is definitely on my list of like dream items I would love to have in my wardrobe. To me, the beauty of this is twofold because one, you are appreciating nature, and two, it is so easy to incorporate into your wardrobe. Like, you can make a hat, you can make hairpins, you can do nail art, you can even DIY your own bag. Like, it's just something that I think has such potential for fun and crafts and just like testing yourself and seeing the different stuff you can make. And I just find that so fun and interesting. Like, I would love to make my own Luna moth hairpins or worm hair clips, or see if I can crochet a ladybug hat, or do something cool with like little fake beetles and see if I can make cool pins that I can put on my coat or my bag. Just trying to like test the limits of my imagination and see how I can incorporate entomology and funky little bugs into my style, which I know is not for everyone, but that is why this video is titled Fashion Stuff I'm Currently Loving. What's the matter? Is the talk about insects bugging you? I, yeah. I'm someone who gets so bored of my hair so easily, and that's how I end up doing the whole thing where I chop all my hair off and then I don't like it, so then I let it grow out. And as you can see right now, I'm currently in the growing out stage. So, to break that cycle, I have been trying to find ways to make my hair more fun. So, as you can see today, I blow dried it and I added a little side bang. I know a lot of people don't like the side bang, but I gotta tell you, the spirit of the side bang has possessed me, okay? All of that is to say, I have been really into cool vintage hair combs and pins and sticks. And I think they're also called hair forks, which I've only ever heard of like a few days ago. That was the first time I've ever heard of that term, and I did find it kind of funny. Have I purchased any of these items? No, because I'm trying to be a financially responsible adult. If you're a regular viewer, you already know this, but if you're not, I really do like experimenting with different hairstyles and really using my hair to convey my mood or the vibe I'm going for that day. Which sounds so obvious. I know that most of us know that our hair is an accessory and it can be an extension of our personality, but sometimes I feel like we just forget that and we get in these moods where we're like, blah, my hair is so blah and boring, but it can be fun. Like, you can have fun with your hairstyle. You are never too old to have fun with your hair or your makeup or your wardrobe or your life. I am a firm believer that we all need more fun and whimsy in our lives. And I know that is not possible for all of us, but there are little ways that you can achieve that, like with a worm hair clip, a moth hair clip, a cool little vintage cat hair comb. There's ways to incorporate it. Related to the hair and the head, I have been really into vintage antique hair pieces, like very either 1920s inspired or medieval inspired, Juliet caps, cool headbands, just anything that gives me the vibes of that. I am either a 1920s flapper or a medieval princess. I have literally had this skull cap in my Etsy cart for months, and every time I'm like, just buy it, just buy it. But then that little worm in my head, that little crocheting worm in my head is like, no, You can make that. You can drive yourself crazy making that. Okay, I may not be the most talented crocheter in the world. It's true, but I try. All of that is to say that I would love to invest in some vintage antique hair pieces and maybe a cool Juliet cap. I saw this TikTok of this creator who sewed her own Juliet cap, and I sent it to my mom because she's been taking sewing classes and I want her to teach me. And so maybe one day I will make my own Juliet cap, is what I'm saying. This is actually number 7 on my list, but I might as well bring it up now. Medieval revival, okay? We all know about it. Like everybody's been talking about it for the past maybe year and a half. I did this cool medieval inspired photo shoot for my birthday last year with my friend Kat, and I was bringing that up to say that I know, especially come spring, I'm really gonna want to lean into the medieval style by wearing like long flowing dresses and maybe having like a little Juliet cap in my hair and just like playing into the airiness of it. Because when I think of medieval revival, I think of like being in a field somewhere with like a long dress and like long draping wavy hair and just like, I don't know, vibing. I do remember having a thought about medieval revival, and it was something along the lines of when I said I wanted medieval revival, I meant the fashion, not the politics. I would love to learn how to sew, and even though I know it's kind of advanced, I would love to make these kind of 1960s, 1970s does medieval dresses because I just think they're so cute, and I know stuff like that does not exist in plus sizes. And so my only hope is to make it with my hands. This next one is a bit more broad. It's more of an idea than a specific tangible thing, but whimsy and personalization. You will hear me say the word whimsy a lot because I think it's just the perfect word to describe how I want to live life and how I want to express myself. I think fashion and accessories are so much more fun when they have their own personal touch. Like, I know there was this whole discourse about bag charms and people buying bag charms or like pre-arranged bag charms to add to their bag and how that didn't really like lack soul or like personality. It was just like consuming to consume instead of, collecting little trinkets or keychains or scarves and stuff that you like over time and organically adding that to your bag. I'm not here to have that discourse, but I do think that there is something so charming and fun and interesting about having that kind of organic personalization to your style. I don't remember if it was for their birthday or Christmas, but last year I got my friend Diane a vintage belt buckle that has their name on it. And that's just so fun to me because whenever they wear it, I'm like, hell yeah, that's so cool. I wish I could find one that said Jess on it. This is related, I promise, but I have been binging ER recently, and there was a scene where one of the doctors was wearing a baseball cap that had their initial embroidered on it. And I thought, that is so cute. I That's such a fun little like DIY project you could do with your friends or like your partner or something. Or like these button pins that I showed in my last video that I had made of my cats. And somebody did comment and say they were giving 8-year-old, but like who cares? They are fun. And when I look at them, they make me smile. And the people that get it. There have been a lot of discussions in the past decade about fast fashion, overconsumption, how obsessed we are as a society with constantly consuming and constantly buying new stuff because we are trying to chase something that makes us happy, that makes us feel fulfilled. And unfortunately, we do live in a like late stage capitalist society. So it's hard to find something that makes you feel fulfilled and normal. And so I think a lot of people try to fill that gap with items and constantly buying stuff and getting new clothes and getting a new wardrobe and constantly swapping out pieces and buying new stuff. And that's one of the reasons I love the idea of personalization, of personalizing your clothes, because I think if you take the time to craft something, to make something that is unique, that only you have, you will have more of a connection to your wardrobe and you will find those pieces more interesting. And I'm not saying your wardrobe can completely fulfill you or fix capitalism, but I am saying that I think if you have more of a connection to the pieces in your wardrobe, you will feel less of an urge to constantly consume and buy new clothing pieces. Oh, my co host has decided to join us today. She has had a big day. She had to go to the vet this morning. She's fine, it's nothing serious, but you know, cats, they are drama queens. Oh, yeah, it's also just fun. Like, you can invite your friends over and have a friends' night or a girls' night or whatever and just craft, just make items. I personally have a crafting board on Pinterest where I save things that I want to make, and on TikTok where I see other people crafting cool stuff. And I'm like, hey, maybe I want to do that one day when I'm bored and would rather use my hands to make something cool than to like doom scroll on Twitter or TikTok. I'm just going to combine these next two into one category, but it's just like 90s, like cool 90s pieces, like specifically the like whimsical graphic tops and dresses that like Save the Queen has. They don't come in plus sizes, but a girl can dream. Or also, I am on the hunt for like the perfect pair of sunglasses. I know you know what I'm talking about. Like when you think of like 90s Julia Roberts, just something that I'm like, these are my pair of sunglasses. These are like my cherished signature sunglasses. And I have literally been looking for that for years at this point, like both of those things, the Save the Queen pieces and like the perfect 90s sunglasses. I just can't seem to bite the bullet because usually I look on eBay, and on eBay it's so hard to pick out sunglasses because I can't try them on. And that also just kind of meshes with eyeglasses and sunglasses in general. Like I've really been loving just funky eyeglasses, funky sunglasses, stuff that looks kind of like futuristic or very 70s, 80s, just things that are unique. And I just find eyewear so much fun. And there's so many different ways that you can just completely change your look just by changing your glasses. Hold on one second. I almost wore these eyeglasses earlier, but as soon as I put them on, I went, nope, I look like a cult leader. I look like a cult leader right now. But that kind of goes with my theory, right? Like it completely changed the vibe of my outfit. I know this is really silly to say because the entire point of eyeglasses are for people who have vision problems and need help seeing. But I know there's been a big trend of people wearing eyeglasses just for the aesthetic of it and wearing eyeglasses with no prescription in it or no lenses. Editing just here, but as I was editing this, I was like, oh, this sounds so familiar. It reminds me of like the nerd glasses trend in the late 2000s, early 2010s. This reminds me of the nerd glasses trend. But as someone who does need eyeglasses to see clearly, they also serve a utilitarian purpose. Couldn't decide it if I wanted to say function or purpose. So I can serve while also seeing. I have been loving 1920s style makeup for a while now, like at least a couple of years. And like this is still one of my favorite looks that I've done. But I think specifically what I love are really pencil thin eyebrows, like just kind of dramatically like drawn on, so obviously drawn on eyebrows. And if I had it in me, I would thin my eyebrows out again, but I just cannot deal with reshaving them like every other day and dealing with like the little like stubby hairs everywhere. It just drove me insane. I am also way too scared to completely shave off my eyebrows and just draw eyebrows on. And I am also very bad at blocking out my eyebrows with glue and makeup, which people have loved to point out to me. Listen, I try, okay? I try. And that's all I can do. But mark my words, okay? I will work on my eyebrow blocking. I want to be good at it, okay? I want to be good at it. I really don't have a long spiel to say for this. I just need to tell you all that I love 1920s style makeup. And I honestly think that it's a style of makeup that suits my face the best. Like, not to be that kind of person, but I definitely do not have Instagram face. I was supposed to be a 1920s movie star face. This is kind of going back to the topic of personalization, but I have been really into reimagining my wardrobe. And not only reimagining, but shopping your own wardrobe. And by that, I mean, look at those bins underneath your bed that you haven't looked at since last winter, and look at the cool scarves you have. Look at the cool gloves you have. Look at the cute beanies you have. And that goes back to the reimagining of your wardrobe, which I guess is just a different term for upcycling. Like if you have a hat that you like the shape of but not the color, you can try dyeing it. You can try embroidering it. You can try doing something to it that will make you like it more. I have really been interested in the idea of just allowing my imagination to run free and allowing myself to be crafty and think of ideas that I probably wouldn't typically think of. Like if I have a hat I don't really like, I can try embroidering a bug onto it. I've been into like entomology pieces. I can try embroidering a beetle onto it. Or if you have a jacket that you like the fit of, but it's a little boring, you can add pins, you can add embroidery, you can add patches, you can freaking bedazzle it if you want to. I think being creative is good for your soul. And I think having pieces in your wardrobe that you either DIY'd with your own hands or made with your own hands is just good for your soul. And I know not everybody has time for that, but it can just be tiny things. And it doesn't even have to be something difficult. It can literally be as simple as having a hair clip and hot gluing like a fake little like bug onto it and then just clipping it into your hair. Like that's so easy and it's so cute. You can really tell that I am into insects lately because I cannot stop yapping about them. I've just been really interested in the idea of making your clothing pieces your own, and that probably does stem from the fact that I grew up plus size, I am plus size, and we just are not afforded many clothing options, and it's hard to find clothing pieces that I like in my size. And so sometimes you're just kind of left with, well, maybe I can take this clothing item I already have and make it into something that I do like. I will admit, I do end up feeling very envious when I see thinner creators thrifting Save the Queen tops or Gunny Sacks dresses, because I know that even if I did happen to find those pieces at the thrift store, they would never fit me. Like my wardrobe, if I could afford anything in the world and also could have it custom made to fit me, would be absolutely insane. Anyways, I know this is supposed to be me talking about fashion stuff I love, but I guess my general message is to just be yourself, to be creative, to get those creative juices flowing and express yourself. Damn, maybe I should be teaching at the University of Betty Suarez and Penelope Garcia, if that was a real place that I didn't make up. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found what I'm interested in lately somewhat interesting. Oh, look at Loaf. She is so cute. I love her so much. Okay, listen, she might not be the most present co-host, but she is here. She's here, she showed up, she's getting paid, and she's getting the attention. Sorry, that's just my baby girl right there. Okay, I love her so, so, so much. And we will obviously see you all in my next video. Bye.